Maggie to the rescue.
Hey everybody, happy fall. Maggie's here with a package that contains one of the cutest antique dolls. It's an antique Armand Marseille Dream Baby. You might be familiar with it, but I want to unbox her with you because I had a particular request of the shop owner and I want to talk to you about that. Thank you, Maggie. You can have a seat. Okay, so I think I'm already getting to my request, which was to remove the head from the body, and I'll show you why. And this is a TLC doll, so I will be doing a restoration of her. Oh, look at that dirty face. It doesn't even look as dirty on camera as it does to me. Wow. I wonder if I can change the light so it's a little more, let's see. Can you see that? Poor thing. Okay, so the reason why I asked her to remove the head was so that she could stuff the interior so that the eyes won't rock back and forth during shipping, because that's a way that a lot of dolls end up getting broken. Wow, what a cutie. But what fun to try to get this dirt off of her. Isn't the shape of her head wonderful? Look at that little mouth. Okay, so I am going to put her on some bubble wrap right here. Oops, sorry about that, Maggie. Let's get you in front of that. See, Maggie's still in her costume. I don't know if you checked out my trad goth video, but Maggie appears in that. She puts this on. It's really fun. And then I also have another one for Halloween that's putting the Barbie masquerade ball outfit on 3 different Barbies. So check that out if you haven't yet. Okay. Let's put this over here. This is very delicate. This is her original linen body. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it's muslin. Look at that. Oh, I love how old that it looks. I mean, I'm going to restore and make her look fresher and newer, but I do love it when things look like this. It's funny, I do all this restoration on dolls for videos and for others, but if you looked at some of my antique dolls, they're just in this condition. I think it's also just really beautiful. I like to see the time on things, but I also don't want them to end up thrown away if other people don't have that aesthetic. So this is how she removed the head. The heads are attached with just thread around here. Let me show you. I have to do this gently so that her eye rockers don't move. Blue eyes. Glass. This is making me anxious. Come on out of there. Wow, she really stuffed it well. So if you're doing this, a preferred method would just be to stuff a little bit of cotton up there. Make sure that the rockers are secured, but if you pack it this tightly, sometimes you might actually pull the rocker in the wrong direction. Or you're pulling it kind of in the right direction, but it could stress the eye rockers. Okay. So do you see the eye rockers? So this is the mechanism that makes them open and close. And see, if that shakes around in shipping, then the eyes can fall out and then they'll roll around and they could break the head as well as the eyes. So I'm very grateful that the person who shipped this to me read my message and did that for me. It really means a lot. So if you're ever buying an antique doll, I highly recommend that you just, especially like off of eBay, just make sure to send them a message and, thank them for the purchase, and then just tell them how much it would mean to you if they would stuff the doll head. So with other like larger bisque dolls, they can stuff the head by removing the wig and putting some tissue down in that. But it really makes such a huge difference. So this, I'm just going to peel this off and repaint it. I love the fact that basically the mold of the hands and arms are underneath the composition so that you're able to remove that and just repaint them. Let's see what her body's like. Wonderful. Oh, she even still has her original muslin diaper. Little things like that mean a lot. Did she have a crier? Oh my gosh, I think she once cried. I'll have to investigate that. Doesn't it seem like it? Yeah. Aw, wish she still did, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So let's see what else we've got here. So that's the original stuffing. So I will have to, so see how this is sort of falling apart? So I'll probably have to make a new, like it might not be the entire body, but I will create something that I can then sew this back into. That's one of the few things I can do in terms of sewing. I'm a bad seamstress, but something like this I've actually done in the past. So I won't do this part today. I'll show you that another time, and I'm going to try to soak this, the little slip, and see if I can use it again. If not, that's okay, but I'm going to give that a shot. But today I am going to go ahead and clean her up with you, and then I'll repair her body and arms on another video. So this is perfect for Halloween, and Maggie has shared her trick-or-treat basket with the body. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe to see what we have here. I always like to start out that way because I don't really want to use a magic eraser or anything like that right away, because that can scratch the bisque just a little bit, because a magic eraser is almost like really fine sandpaper. I wonder if this baby, like if this is just dirt, or if she might have been in a fire. I guess if she was in a fire, then that would have burned up, but maybe she was near the fireplace. Just seems really sooty. So far, so good. This is the part I'm the most worried about. I'll put her down here. Hope the camera follows. Doesn't look like this is coming off, so I'm going to have to work a little harder on that and see what that is. Could be ink or something. Okay, so I'm going to try her face. So bisque was fired, so they're painted and then they're fired, so you don't have to worry about rubbing off any paint. That looks like some dirt is really kind of sticking in, like maybe some little scratches. Okay, I'm gonna just wipe a little bit. I don't want to wipe her eyelid because that actually can rub off, so I'm wiping around it. And these came in different sizes, just like the Bye-lo babies did. My mother has passed, but one of my favorite memories of her is that we bought a little dream baby together. I still have it, but it is in Atlanta where I grew up. So I'm going to continue working on her off camera, just so that it'll be easier for me to see, because I'm having to see through the camera here, and I know that sounds strange, but it's just, if you have a channel you know what I'm talking about, but it's a lot easier if I can bring her up to my face and not be looking through the camera. All right, so I am going to use a little bit of a magic eraser now, and I always just like to cut them. And this is just a little bit of gentle dish soap, eco-friendly. I'm doing this extremely gently, like I'm just kind of skimming the top. So she's getting better. I'm not sure exactly what this is. That might just be permanent. And this is getting reduced. I'll keep using a little elbow grease on that. Her little ears are getting clean and her nose. And this is really the only area of her face that I used a little bit of a magic eraser. Her complexion kind of has some striations. Do you see that? Can you see? It's sort of this way. I guess that's just from her original making. I don't know, but I guess it could be from somebody trying to clean her in the past, but she looks so dirty. It doesn't even look like she was clean. But I also want to show you that you can use a pencil to reveal who made the doll. So do you see AM? So that's for Armand Marseille. And the country is, do you see that? Germany. And then this is her mold number. Sometimes it indicates size. Let's see, what does that say? Can't quite read it. 3.5, 8.5, something like that. I'll have to look that up. So you can do that to reveal maker's marks, and then you can just use a wet wipe to wipe it right back off, or water. This must be a later version because the AM is so light. You know, the more and more they use the molds, the lighter and lighter the maker's mark would get. So she's probably a later version. Isn't she the sweetest? Look at that face. So I'm going to clean her eyes now. So I'm going to get a Q-tip and some toothpicks. I think a Q-tip is actually too big for her eyes. She's such a little doll. I can just do a little bit. I don't even really want to use much water. Not that that would really cause any harm. The only harm would be is if you soak the head for long, it can actually make the plaster disintegrate. So that's something that you want to try to avoid. So you wouldn't want to just sit her head down in soap and water and soak, because it can loosen up the plaster holding in her eyes. But maybe I'll use a little tiny bit of water. Gently, gently, gently. And now I don't even think I got anything off much. Anything that's sort of cleaning more around her eyes. Just use this a little bit. You know, I don't know if I was saying earlier that you can't really harm the paint by cleaning it, but you know, they did get nose rubs and cheek rubs, and I don't know if that's from, you know, something that's almost like sandpaper going over them, but that does happen. She's still a little bit dirty. I usually do go over, the minute I get an antique doll, I usually do go over it with a Q-tip. If it's pretty clean is what I'm saying. That's the first thing I do, because even if the doll looks clean, they're usually still dirty. So I'm just taking a toothpick and I'm wrapping it in the baby wipe. And I'm just gonna, again, gentle is the key. Just gently, gently, gently try to get into those corners. a matter of fact, I might just use the toothpick as is. I'm going to put a little water on the end. Just try to get that out. So her lids are painted, and they usually have wax on them, so they're painted with wax. I usually kind of just leave them alone, even if they're a little dirty, because I don't want that coming off. See, they're pretty dirty, but I can pat them just a little bit. But I don't want to mess with that too much. That's helping. So just the raw toothpick, or the toothpick without the paper, I don't know why I said raw. Anyway, the unwrapped toothpick. And I am going to stuff her head before I sew her head back on her body. You can use a toothpick a little bit in the mouth if you want. So she's getting there. What a cutie, right? I'm going to work a little bit more on that. I don't know if I can do anything about it. And then I'll work some more on this. But I'm going to show you a Bye-lo baby, but real quickly, let's do a before and after on the Dream Baby head. Much better, and she'll get even better. So I want to show you, here Maggie, you take care of that head. So I want to show you a Bye-lo baby, which I believe came out in 1924. Grace Putnam, an American woman, actually designed the Bye-lo baby after she saw a little newborn baby in the nursery, and she sculpted a little head in wax, and the Bye-lo baby was a huge success, also called the $1 Million Baby. And they have little froggy legs. Isn't that cute? I told you my dolls are like this. But I like them just sort of as is. Isn't she cute? Look at that head. So she's a much bigger doll, but they came in lots of sizes. I can put them up here when I have a chance to research. And I think this came out a couple of years later. If I am correct, then the Dream Baby for Armand Marseille to compete with it came out a couple of years later. But you can see that the Bye-lo baby is much more like a real baby. She has, you know, features that look a little bit more like a newborn, and this gets a little bit more generic, but both just absolutely precious, beautiful little dolls. If any of you have the Dream Baby, I would love to hear about it in the comments, or a baby doll that just meant a lot to you, whether you collected it or something that you remember from childhood. I absolutely love reading your comments, and especially about your experiences with your dolls. So I encourage that greatly. And I hope everybody has a happy, safe Halloween and happy, safe fall. And be sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more restorations and show and tells and fashion shows. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.